dissolving the yeast in cold milk, and it doesn't need to be warm or anything. And I just find that easiest to do with my hands, so that's what I always do. And this is going to be a pre-yeast, so I'm just going to mix the yeast, flour and milk, and I'll leave that for 15 minutes. So I just mix it on the machine just a couple of minutes so it gets collected, and then I will leave it in the bowl for 15 minutes. Then I will add in 1 egg, flour, butter and sugar, and I will write the measurements in the description box. And then I'll add cardamom, salt, and then I'll just mix it together. And I'll do it on the machine for maybe 10 minutes, 12 minutes. And then the dough will be very elastic. There is no need to add any more flour or anything else. So the dough will be perfect and it will not stick to anything. But I always use this silicone mat. So I'll just roll it out, and then I will measure every bun. So it will be 60 grams per bun. And they are very small. 60 grams is not that much. But then I will leave them to rise for about 2 hours, so they will be quite large in the end. So you just cup your hand and then roll it use a lot of force, and then roll it on the table. So I'll just leave them in room temperature for 2 hours at least. You can also leave it for 2.5 hours. I think I actually did that because I got stuck in front of a TV show. So you can see here that they have risen a bit and they are very nice. So I'll just mix 1 egg with a little bit of milk and then gently brush over each bun. And then I'll put it in the oven. And I will leave them to cool completely down because they need to be cold when you add the other filling. So now we're ready to begin with the filling. I'll just measure out the almonds and then I will toast them in the oven just for a few minutes. It will give it a lovely taste of the toasted almonds. I think that it makes a huge difference in the filling. And then I will mix powdered sugar with vanilla sugar, a bit of salt, and then when the almonds are toasted enough, I'll just put them straight into the food processor when they're still hot, and I'm just going to whisk that around. I like when there's a bit of like a crunchiness, so I don't powderize them completely. And then I'll mix in the sugar and add a little bit of water. I'm talking maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons of water, not very much. I'll just put it in when I go so I can feel the consistency in the food processor. So you want it a bit moist but not too runny. So you can see this is the perfect consistency because I'll also put it in the fridge and then it will collect itself a bit more. So this is the perfect consistency. I think it's probably like a runny oatmeal consistency. So just put it in a piping bag and then put it in the fridge. And this can last in the fridge for a week, so you can save it. I made some more of these buns the next day and then I just used the same filling. And then I'm just going to chop the almonds. I took a couple of almonds aside from the ones that I toasted in the oven. Then I'm going to mix the whipped cream, and I always recommend that you add a bit of vanilla sugar to the whipped cream. It makes a huge difference. So then with a scissor you just cut down, and then you're going to make a triangle in the bun. And then I take the excess filling of the bun out, just a little bit. So this is where the almond filling is going to be. You can also cut off the top, but I like this better because then when you take a bite, you get a lovely bite of everything combined. So then I just fill them with the almond filling. And then I'm going to sprinkle them on top with the chopped toasted almonds. And these I've just chopped roughly, and that's the perfect consistency, I think. And then I'm going to pipe out the whipped cream. And don't whisk it too much, because when you put it in the bag, it will stiffen up a bit, and you don't want it to be too stiff. And then I just add the tops back on. And then with powdered sugar, then I'm just going to dust it on top. That makes the final touch. And that was actually it. And I have served these for, I think, maybe 3 people besides me. And they say that these are the best buns that they have ever tasted.